This conference will now be recorded.
In this session, we are going to cover what is Apex class. Okay, what is Apex class? Okay. Then the next one is what is what are primitive data types? Okay, primitive data types. And the next one is what is constructor. Okay, what is constructor? Okay, and the next one is what is method. Okay, what is method? And the next one is how to create an instance for Apex class. Okay, Apex class. In this session, we are going to cover all these topics. In this session, we are going to cover all these topics. First of all, what is an Apex class? What is an Apex class? Okay, what is an Apex class is nothing but here Apex is nothing but ours is a Salesforce, right? Salesforce, in Salesforce we are writing a programming, right? We are writing a programming. That programming name is nothing but Apex. That programming name is nothing but Apex. There is no abbreviation for Apex. Okay, there is no abbreviation. What do you mean by Apex? Means it is a Salesforce programming language. Okay, it is a Salesforce programming language. Java means Java programming, right? Like that, what is a Salesforce programming language name is nothing but that is nothing but Apex. There is no abbreviation. Okay, there is no abbreviation. It is a Salesforce programming language name. It is Salesforce programming language. Okay, it is Salesforce programming language. Okay, then what is an Apex class? What is a class? What is a class? We are writing our class in the Salesforce. That's why that is called Apex class. Apex class or class, whatever it may be, whatever it may be. Class is a or Apex class is a combination of okay, combination of variables plus constructor plus constructor plus method. Okay, what is an Apex class or class? Class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus methods. So first of all, how to write a class? How to write a class? How to write a class or Apex class? How to write a class or Apex class? Suppose I will ask you write a class or write Apex class. Then how we are going to start is nothing but the first word is nothing but class. The first word is nothing but class. We should use the same word class. It is called keyword. It is called keyword. Class is a keyword. After that, one or two spaces. One or two spaces. Then we have to provide name. Then we have to provide a name. Okay, whenever we are trying to creating an object, whenever we are trying to creating an object, we will provide a name, right? Like that, we are also writing an Apex class. While writing an Apex class, we should provide a name. We should provide a name. What is that name? Any name. Any name. Here my class name is nothing but demo. Okay, my class name is nothing but demo. Open curly braces, immediately there is no space, or after we have to give one space. Okay, so curly braces, open curly braces, and the next one is close one. This is a open one and this is nothing but close one. Suppose we want to write a class, suppose my requirement is write a Apex class or write a class, then how we are going to start? How we are going to start is nothing but class. First we should use a class. Class is a keyword. Class is a keyword, and after that one or two spaces, then we have to provide a class name. While writing a class name, is there any logic? Means there is no logic. Whenever we are trying to creating an object, we will provide a name, right? So based on our requirement, we will provide a name, right? Like that, you are also writing a class. While writing a class, you will also provide any name based on your requirement. Then one or two spaces or no space, open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, close curly braces. Here class is a Generally we will call it as a keyword. Okay, generally we will call it as a keyword. Okay, so how to write an apex class or how to write a class is nothing but we have to start with a class. Class is a keyword. After that, one or two spaces, then we have to provide a class name. Class name means there is no logic, any name, and open curly braces and close curly braces. Then what is a class? Class is a combination of, see here, class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus method, right? Means inside this class we will write variables, we will write constructor, we will write method. Okay, this is a class syntax. Inside this class, what we will write? Inside this class, what we will write? Why we have to write? Forget about that. Why we have to write? Why we have to write a class? Forget about that. We'll discuss whenever we are entering into actual requirement. That time we will discuss. Now, class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus methods, right? Now coming into here, variables. Now coming into here, variables. Okay, now I'm trying to logging into the Salesforce. I'm trying to logging into the Salesforce. In go to account object or any object, go to standard object or custom object, go to any object. Here I am trying to going with the account object. How to navigate to the account object? Go to the object manager, go to the object manager, go to account, go to account. Now go to fields and relationships. Now I am trying to creating one new field in account object. Now I am trying to creating one new field in account object. Click on this new button. Click on this new button. While creating a new field, first step what we will do? First step what we will do? We will select the data type, right? We will select the data type, right? Okay, what do you mean by data type? What do you mean by data type? What kind of data we are trying to storing into that particular way field, right? Into that particular field, I am trying to creating a field. I am trying to creating a field. While creating a field, we should select the data type. Why we should select the data type means we are telling to the system, in this field I am going to store these type of data. These type of data, that is nothing but data type. Here I am trying to selecting my data type as a text data type. Then click on the next button. Click on the next button. Here what is your field name? What is your field name? For example, my field name is nothing but first name. First name. Here also the same thing. Here also the same thing. Now coming into the programming. Now coming into the programming. Now I want to declare one variable. I want to declare one variable. In this variable, it will store only text data. It will store only text data. Text data is nothing but James, Peter, Thomas, all this is nothing but text data, right? I want to declare one variable. I want to declare one variable. In this variable, I want to store, we want to store only text data type. We want to store only text data type. First of all, how to declare a variable? How to declare a variable in the sense means, what is your variable name? Here I am trying to creating a field, right? What is my field name? First name, right? Here also, first name. Any name, it doesn't matter. My requirement is I want to declare one variable. Yes. What is your variable name? Any name, it doesn't matter. Whenever we are trying to creating a field, what is our field name is based on our requirement, right? Any name we can add it, right? Any name. Here also my requirement is go and create one variable. Yes, this is my variable. This is my variable. In this variable, what type of data you are trying to store in? What type of data you are trying to store in? I want to store text data. Text data I want to store. Whenever we are coming into the text data, the data type in the programming we will use is nothing but string data type. See here, string data type. String data type. So the first one is text is there, right? Whenever we are trying to creating a field, we will select the data type as a text, right? Text field name, right? This is my first name. My field name is nothing but first name. In the first name, what kind of data we are going to store? James, Peter, Thomas, ABC, like that, right? So now coming into the programming, I want to declare a variable. In that variable, we want to store text data. Text data. Then how we are going to declare a variable? The first one is, you will just go to declare one variable. Here the variable name is nothing but f name. Any name, it doesn't matter. Names are any names. Names are any names. My variable name is nothing but f name. In this variable, what kind of data you are trying to storing? What kind of data you are trying to storing? Text data. Instead of text, whenever we are coming into the programming, we will use string data type. String is one of the primitive data type. String is one of the primitive data type. So here f name is a variable. In this variable, we are going to store text data. Text means whenever we are coming into the programming, we will call string data type. That is nothing but primitive data type. Here equals single quote, here James. So here f name is a variable. In this variable, we are trying to storing text data. Text means here we will call it as a string. Yes, what is the default value? What is the default value? That is nothing but James. In Apex programming, whenever we are coming into the string, always we will use a single quote. In other programming languages, we will use double quotes. In other programming languages, we will use double quotes. Same thing now coming into the Salesforce. So I'm in account object. Now I want to create one text field. Text field. How to create a text field? You will just go and select the data type as a text, right? Yes. Then click on the next, right? Then what is your field name? Field name is nothing but any name here. Any name, F name. Okay. Left name. Here length we will define, but here there is no need of defining length. Now coming into the programming, I want to declare one variable. Yes, I will just go and declare my variable name is a F name. Then in this variable, what kind of data you are trying to storing? I want to store text data. Instead of text, in Apex programming, we will use string primitive data type. So here the default value equals to, we are just providing in the single quote. Strings are always in single quotes whenever we are coming into the Apex programming. In other programming languages, we will use double quotes like this. We will use double quotes. Okay, we will use double quotes. But whenever we are coming into the Apex programming, we will always use single quotes. So up to now, what we discuss, instead of text data type, I mean, instead of, it is not like instead of. Okay, suppose we want to declare one variable, and in that variable, suppose we want to store text data, then which primitive data type we have to use? So that is nothing but string. So finally, what is the syntax? So your variable name, beside that, in the left hand side, you have to provide the data type. In the right hand side, suppose you want to provide any value equals to in single quote. Suppose I don't want to provide any value, then how we are going to declare? My variable name is nothing but L name. And what kind of data in this variable you are trying to storing? String. I don't want to provide any default value. Then you have to go to here, you have to put colon at the end of this line. Any of the line, at the end of the line, we are going to add colon. We are going to add the colon. Okay, this line is ending. Also we are telling to the system, I am closing this line. How we are telling to the system? That is nothing but we are putting the colon here. We are putting the colon here. So text means the data type is nothing but string data type. Any question on this one? Any question? Okay. Now coming into here,
I
coming
have.
into, yes
Sir,
ma'am.
Uh, if we are planning to add, this is a string data type for even a long text and everything, that can store everything. Do we have a different string, different data types or different things that needs to be defined for short text or the long text or something like that, the text area, something like that?
No, no, no. Only one data type, that is nothing but string. Whether it is a short text or long text, Salesforce is providing only one data type. Okay, that is nothing but string.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
sir,
So yes,
si- sir, actually for string fname, right, you declared James in single quotes. If I
yes.
declare that James in double quotes, is it okay, or else we have to declare every time in single quotes only?
So whenever we are trying to declaring as a double quotes, okay. For example, here go to here, I will declare it as a double quotes, and
Okay.
we are trying to saving. Okay, I'm writing one Apex class where we have to write. I will show. I'm trying to saving that Apex class. That time system it will not accept. System it will throw one error message. Boss, your syntax is wrong. You are using double quotes. Instead of double quotes, we have to use single quotes. Your syntax is wrong. So the system it will say your syntax is wrong and I will not save this Apex class. System
So
it
for
will throw
every
one
time, string should be declared in a single quotes.
single quote.
And if I want to have fname and lname side by side, let's suppose string fname comma lname is equal to James comma Thomas, something like that. So I have to declare in a single quotes only.
Single quotes only.
And if it is like not names, if it is integers, then I have to declare in single quotes also.
Integer, we will not discuss that data type, only text
Okay.
data. One is
Okay.
integer data.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So, and one more thing at the end of the, suppose I will not write anything. I'm just declaring like this. Then also system, it will display an error message. Boss, you are not adding anything at the end of this line. You are not adding anything at the end of this line. I will not allow you to save this Apex class. I will not allow you to save this one. So at the end of this one, we have to write colon, means we are telling to the system, this line is ending, this line is ending. Okay. So the first data type is nothing but text data type. Now coming into here, coming into here, coming into again
Ramesh,
Salesforce. Yes.
this error, like once we are trying to save the once you are trying to save, then only it will show the error, right?
Yes.
So it's not when you are writing the coding or what you are writing. Only once when you are trying to save it, then only it will show the error.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now coming into here, I am trying to creating one more variable, one more field I am trying to create it. In my field, I will store number. Okay, I will store number. See here, number data type is there. Right? Number data type is there. Right? So I am trying to storing number data type. I am trying to creating one field. Coming into the Salesforce. In my Salesforce, I am trying to creating a field. While creating a field, we will select the data type as a number. So instead of number coming into the programming here, instead of this is number data type, this is number data type. Now coming into programming, we have three types of numbers you observe. One is small number, this is small number, or this is small number. Okay, one second. This is small number. Here you have to observe this is small number, and another one is like this. This is large number. This is large number, and another one is like this, right? This is double, right? Three types of numbers are there, right? You observed. One is small number. One is small number. Small number. See 23. This is a small number. 4 digits. This is a small number, and this is large number, right? This is large number, and this is nothing but double, right? This is double because of we are using dots. 45.56. So finally, three types of numbers are right. Three types of numbers. Now coming into the programming. Now you want to declare one variable. My variable name is nothing but I. In this variable, we want to store one number. In this variable, we want to store one number. So what type of number? I mean, what is your length? Is a small range number or large number? It is a small number. It is a small number like 4 digits, like 4 digits. Okay, like 4 digits or 5 digits maximum, like 4 digit or 5 digit maximum. Then we have to go and declare one variable, one data type, that is nothing but integer data type. I am trying to declaring one variable. In this variable, we are trying to storing one number. Yes, that number is what is the length? Maximum 4 digit, 5 digits. Then you have to go integer data type. Integer data type. Here I is a variable. In this variable, we are storing small range number. How many digits? Like 4 digits, like 4 digits. So that here the data type is nothing but integer. Suppose I am trying to declaring one more variable. My variable name should be anything. Variable name should be anything. There is no logic. There is no logic. I'm just declaring my variable name as a k. In this variable, I'm trying to storing large number. Large number is nothing but I will just go and use long data type. Here one more thing, here you have to observe, I'm using capital letter or small letter, it doesn't matter. Capital letter or small letter, it doesn't matter. It is not a case sensitive. Apex programming is not a case sensitive. I will use like this long, or I will use like this long, or I will use like this. Any capital letter or small letter, it doesn't matter. So capital letter or small letter, it doesn't matter. So Apex programming language is not a case sensitive, means capital letter or small letter, it doesn't matter. So I am trying to declaring one variable. In this variable, we are trying to storing number, large number or small number. Large number means you will just go and use long data type, You will just go and use long data type. Here the number should be anything like this. The number should be anything like this. Now I am trying to declaring one more variable. My variable name is nothing but d. My variable name is nothing but d. In this variable you are trying to storing double, I mean dots, right? This type of numbers we are trying to storing. Then you will just go and use a double here. Double, okay? Double data type. Double d is equals to 45 and anything like this. Dot here we are using. Dot here we are using. So number means whenever we are coming into the programming language, number means three types of numbers are there. Small range number is nothing but integer. Large number is nothing but a long data type. And I mean dots is there means this is the double. This is a double. So this is a double. So any questions on this one? Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, Ramesh. So here you are not defining any colons like single colon.
That is a
Sorry.
string. Only
Okay,
string
only
where
for strings.
we have to add in single quotes.
Okay, and for C, if you are defining as long, but you are writing only some 3 digits or 4 digit number, will it throw an error?
No, no, it will not throw any error. No issues about that. Okay.
And even if
Suppose
even if I'm defining double
yes,
and I am putting zeros after decimal, a decimal
okay,
point says 00.
yes,
So in this case also it will not throw an error, right?
not throw any error. It will not throw any error. Okay, Shiva, are any questions?
Like it's a combination of even a long number. If see double digit, I can define long number also.
Double digit long number means here like this means the system it will automatically take like double only. Whenever we are printing backend dot 00. Okay. So you are saying coming into the double, I will declare the data type as a double, but I will provide the number as 8888. Okay. So, but in the
No,
backend, the
more than four. You add
anything,
dot 00.
the
Yeah.
system, the system it will treat like dot 00. Okay.
Okay.
So don't get any confusion on this. Just only three things. Small number, okay, small number or integer. Long number means we are using more than 4 digits or 5 digits, then you have to go to the long. Then dots, dot decimals, then you have to go with the double. Okay. So here
What
between how much how many numbers it will take here, how many numbers it will take. If the system it is not taking that many value, then it will throw an error message. Okay, it will not, it will throw an error message. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, what is the range for integer?
So here go to the Apex developer guide. Okay, Apex developer guide. Go and open Apex developer guide. Okay, ours is the Apex programming, right? Apex programming. So Salesforce provided one developer guide. Okay, that is nothing but Apex developer guide. Go to the Apex developer guide. So now go to here writing Apex data types and variables. So go to here primitive data types. Click on the primitive data types. Scroll down here. Scroll down and see integer is there, right? Integer. So this is the range minimum. So no need to remember all these things. Generally, what we will do is a small range numbers we will use integers. Suppose more than 4 digits in the sense means we will go with the long. So this is long. This is long. Okay, and the next one is nothing but double. The next one is nothing but double. Suppose the system it is not supporting, then it will throw an error message. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay,
So Ramesh,
so yes,
yeah,
yes.
before yeah, before declaring the variable, can I say the length of the variable? So,
Before
see,
declaring,
here the string fname is the variable, right? So
yes,
yeah. So while giving the variable only, I'm going to declare the length of that variable. So can I do that?
length of this is a length of 1 2 3 4 5. This is the length. Yeah,
In that fname, I can so I can use the long name also, right?
yeah, you can use the long name.
So
255. use the long.
Okay. In generally, while creating the object, we are providing the length of that.
Okay.
While creating the fields, we are going to giving the length of that field, right? So the
Yes.
same thing. Is it applicable over here?
No, but it's not applicable here. So while creating a field, suppose we will select the data type as a text, and we are providing the maximum length like 255 or 35, right? So here you are saying I am trying to create a field. Is there any facilities there? Yes, no, there is no. We have to write a programming for this one. If fname dot, see here, if fname dot length, okay, if fname dot length is greater than 30, then I want to display an error message like that. We have to write a programming for this one. There is no option. So while declaring a variable, we have to specify the length of that particular string. There is no option. Okay. Okay, Bhaskar.
Okay. Okay, Ramesh.
So this is another data type. So don't get confused. For small range number means minimum 4 digits, then integer you have to go. More than 4 digits, then you have to go with the long. The dot decimals, then you have to go with the double. So whether system it will support or not. If system it will not support, then it will throw an error message. Okay. Then the system it will throw an error message. Okay. System it will throw an error message. Now coming into another data types. Okay. So here you have to observe this is Apex developer guide. Here primitive data types. Under primitive data types, we will get all these data types. Okay, we will get all these data types. Now coming into our topic. So I am trying to creating one more variable. I am trying to creating one more variable. My variable data type is nothing but checkbox. Checkbox. Select the checkbox and click on the next. Click on the next. Checkbox means what? So checkbox means what? Checked or unchecked, right? Whenever I am trying to creating one field, that is data type is nothing but checkbox, that is nothing but checked or unchecked, right? The same thing here. Whenever we are coming into the programming, checkbox is nothing but instead of checkbox data type, we will use boolean. My variable name is nothing but anything. So the data type is nothing but boolean is nothing but it is instead of checkbox we are going to use boolean as a data type. Either checked means true value, if not checked is nothing but that is nothing but false only. That is nothing but false. I am trying to declaring one variable. My variable name is nothing but checkbox type. My variable name is nothing but sorry, my data type is nothing but checkbox. Checkbox means what we will do, either checked or unchecked, right? Now coming into the programming, that is nothing but boolean. So checked is nothing but true, unchecked is nothing but false, unchecked is nothing but false. This is the third data type. This is nothing but third primitive data type. This is one primitive data type. This is one primitive. This is one primitive. String is another primitive data type. This is another primitive data type. Now coming into here again. Now coming into here. Now coming lookup relationship field and master detail relationship fields are there, right? Lookup relationship field and master detail relationship fields are there, right? Lookup relationship and master detail relationship. Okay, lookup relationship and master detail relationship. We will use id primitive data type. Id, and this is my variable name. I is a variable name. In this variable we are going to store id. Id means what? Id means what? Record type id. Go to here. Go to here. Lookup relationship is what? It is a lookup to another object. Another object. Front end it will show the name. Back end it will show the id of that particular record. Id of that particular record. What I'm trying to say is, one second. Go to contacts. Go to contact. I'm trying to creating new contact record. So while creating a contact record, whether it is a lookup relationship or master detail relationship, see here, I will select this record date, whether it is a lookup relationship or master detail relationship. Forget about that. In whenever we are coming into the programming, both one we will treat only one primitive data type. That is nothing but id. That is nothing but id. In the front end it is showing the account name. That is nothing. In the front end it will show the record name, account record name. That is nothing but a test. Whenever we are coming into the programming, Whenever we are coming into the programming, then instead of test, instead of the name test, it will show the record IDs here. Open this one, open this one. So in the URL we will get record ID, right? This is nothing but record ID. Just remember, for lookup relationship or master detail relationship, whenever we are coming into the programming, we will use ID as the data type. So ID as the data type, whenever we will enter into the actual programming, that time we will understand, that time we will understand. So ID I is equals to like this, ID I is equals to like this. So instead of lookup relationship or master detail relationship, we will use only one data type, that is nothing but ID data type, whether it is a capital letter or small letter. I is a variable name, and in this variable what kind of data we are trying to storing is, I am trying to storing record ID, record ID. So the data type is nothing but ID. Here this is a record ID. So instead of lookup relationship or master detail relationship, we will just go and use ID here. So now coming into here, another data type, go to here, go to here, edit object, and edit object, go to fields and relationship sections. Okay, click on this new button, click on this new button. Now go to here, currency is there, right? Currency. Okay, currency is there, right? Now the next one is currency. Okay, currency is another data type, right? Instead of currency, we will just go and use a decimal. Okay, we will just go and use a decimal instead of currency. If any currency field is there, any currency field is there, we will use decimal data type. We will use decimal data type here, decimal data type here. For example, I will use a double data type, then the system it will throw an error message. If any currency field is there in my Salesforce, in account object I am working, I have one currency field. That currency field data I want to store into my one variable, into one variable. Suppose we will use both are decimals only, right? So suppose I will just go and use double, mean the sense in the system it will display an error message. For currency field we have to use only decimal data type. Decimal data type coming into here. Here you have to observe. Go to here, decimal data type is there. Here decimal data type. Currency fields are automatically assigned to the type decimals. Currency fields are automatically assigned to the type decimal. Okay. Currency field is nothing but decimal. Now coming into another data type. Now coming into another data type, go to here, go to here. Date is one data type, right? See here, date is another data type. So for date we will use date only. Okay, D is one variable name. In this variable I am trying to storing today date. Today date in the sense means system dot today. Okay, some methods, some methods, these are the method which is provided by the Salesforce. We'll discuss that. Okay, so D is a variable. In this variable, suppose we want to store the date, then date data type here we have to use. So which date you want to store? Today date in the sense means system dot today. Some other date, yes, we will just go and store it here. So another data type is nothing but, go to here, another data type, date time is there, right? Date type. Another data type is nothing but date time. Whenever we are coming into the programming, we have date time is there. Okay, date time. D is another variable name. In this variable I am trying to storing date type, date type. That is nothing but, suppose I want to store today date and time is nothing but today date and time, system dot now. Okay, system dot now. We have functions, right? Whenever we are writing a validation rule, you observed is changed, is pick value. Suppose I want to get to today date means today. Suppose we want to get to today date and time is nothing but now. Some functions are there. Okay, that function I am trying to using here, that function we are trying to using here. So for remaining anything, for example, I am trying to creating email. Suppose I am trying to creating an email. Suppose I am trying to creating pick list, phone number, multi pick list, text area long, text area, text, time, or any other data type. We will always consider those things as a string. We will always consider those data types as a string. So for example, I want to declare one pick list value, country USA India. Now I want to store that one into, I want to store into my variable. So declare one variable, the data type is nothing but a string. So multi-pick list is there. Multi-pick list data type, we will just go and use string. The remaining email, this data type, any data type remaining thing, we will just go and use string data type only. We will just go and use string data type here. So these are the primitive data types. These are the primitive data types. String is one primitive data type. Primitive data type in the sense means what kind of data we are trying to storing, that we are telling to the system, in this variable I am trying to storing string data. In this variable I am trying to storing small range number. In this variable I am trying to storing large number. In this variable I am trying to storing double number. In this variable I am trying to storing only true or false. Okay, that is nothing but primitive data types. That is nothing but primitive data types. How many primitive data types are there? String, integer, long, double, boolean, id, and the next one is decimal, date, date time. Regularly we will use, regularly we will just remember all those things, just remember all those things. Now what we discuss, class, right? Suppose we want to write a class. What is a class? Apex class or class, it is a combination of variables plus constructor plus method, right? Now suppose I want to write one class. How to write a class? Class, class is a keyword, one or two spaces, then what is your class name? Demo, this is my class name. Open curly braces and close curly braces. Now in this class I want to declare some variable. I want to store some first name. So this is my variable name. In this variable, what kind of data you are trying to storing? What kind of, I am trying to storing string data, mean text data. So yes, see here, while declaring a variable I am trying to storing the data, that is in single quote. Now I will just go and declare one more variable. My variable name is nothing but l name. But while declaring, I mean I am trying to declaring, I will not store. The data type is nothing but a string. The data type is nothing but a string. Now I want to declare one more variable. My variable name is nothing but, my variable name is nothing but I. In this variable I want to store like small range number. Then what kind of data type we are going to use? Integer, integer. So suppose I am trying to declaring one more variable. My variable name is nothing but a l. So here in this, what kind of data you are trying to storing? I am trying to storing large number. Then the data type is nothing but long only. We will just go and use long. So suppose I am trying to declaring one more variable. My variable name is nothing but a d. In this variable, what kind of data you are trying to storing? What kind of data you are trying to storing? That is nothing but decimals I am trying to storing. Decimals I am trying to storing. So here double data type, double data type. Suppose I want to store currencies, then we will just go and use a decimal. Then you will just go and use a decimal data type here. Suppose I will use same name, already one variable is with the same name, the system it will not accept. D1 is equals to 89 point anything, anything. Suppose I will miss at the end of the statement, this is called one statement. At the end of this statement, suppose I will miss colon and click on the save button. Whenever I am trying to saving, not writing, whenever I am trying to saving this apex class, whenever I am trying to saving this class, then the system it will not accept, but there is some error, some syntax errors. Syntax errors we will call compile time errors. It is not logic error, right? You are writing some code, some syntax is missing. Some syntax is, what is syntax? At the end of each and every statement we have to add the colon, that is missing, that is missing. Okay, the system it will not accept. Now coming into here, I am trying to declaring one variable. In this variable I will just go and store true or false. False in the sense means yes, only one data type, that is boolean. Suppose I will just go and declare one more variable. My variable name again I will use b. Is it acceptable? No, already one variable is declared here, so again I will not accept. So you have to go and use different name here. Which name we have to use? Any name, it doesn't matter, any name. Here I will just go and use true, boolean b, b1. Okay, now coming into here, another data type, that is nothing but id. This is for lookup relationship or master detail relationship, we will just go and use it. And here 15 digit id or 18 digit id. Suppose I will just go and use like this means the system it will display an error message because of it is not a 15 digit id. It is not a 15 digit id. Then the next one is a date. Then the next one is a date, and the next one is a date time. The next one is date time. So class is a combination of variables. See, this is a variable, and this is a variable, this is a variable. In this variable, what kind of data we are storing, that we are telling to the system. How we are telling to the system is nothing but by using primitive data types. By using primitive data types. So class is a combination of here. Class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus method. Okay, class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus method. So why we have to write this variable? Which value we are going to declare, everything we will see whenever we are coming into the actual requirement. Our responsibility is how to write a class. Suppose I will ask you, write a class space class name, any name. Okay, don't ask I am writing a class, what is a class name? We will not ask like that. Any name you have to provide, open curly braces and close curly braces. Inside that one I will ask, go and declare some variables. So you have to go and declare integer variable, long variable, string variable, double decimal, boolean id, date, data type. How many primitive data types are there? For each and everything you will just go and declare a variable. So why we have to use, why we have to declare, that is another question that we will discuss whenever we will enter into the actual requirement. Any questions? So up to now we discussed the class variables. Now we will go with the constructor. Now we will go with the
I
method.
have
Now,
I have one
yes.
question. So the decimal value that we are declaring for the currency, would it also say if I need to uh, store a value with the pound symbol or the dollar symbol, would that also accept it?
Here it will not accept. Okay. Here it will not accept. Okay. You are saying
No, no, no.
USD.
For the decimal, the symbols, the signs, dollar signs or something like that.
It will not
Instead of
accept.
word, even the dollar sign also it won't accept, is it?
It won't accept. It will just take the values only.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Front end, whenever we are coming into the front end, it will show the symbols like USD or dollar symbol. But whenever we are coming into the back end, that current user currency is what? Current user currency. It will convert into that value. Okay. Back end. Okay, Nirmal.
Okay, got it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks.
రమేష్ గారు స్ట్రింగ్ లో కూడా తీసుకురా
String, that is string. String, it will take any value. Okay. She's
అదే
asking
డాలర్ సింబల్స్ కావాలంటే అక్కడ తీసుకుంటాయి కదా
in decimal. She's asking in decimal. Suppose I will just go and use USD, is it acceptable? Or some other currency I will give, is it acceptable? Because of this is a currency field, right? That's what she's asking. It will use, it will take numbers also, mixed values also, it will take any value, it will take. In text, suppose we
సింబల్స్
yes ma'am.
స్ట్రింగ్ లో స్పెషల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్ తీసుకుంటాయా?
String,
స్పెషల్ క్యారెక్టర్స్
any value it will take. For example, coming into here, I am trying to declaring one, go to here. String is what? String is nothing but a text type. Go to here, go to here, go to contacts or anything, click on the new button, click on this new button. This is nothing but string only, right? This is nothing but a string only. Here I will, it will take special character or anything. This is a text box. This is a text box. For example, last name is also a text box. It will take anything, right? Anything it will take. Suppose I don't want to allow special characters, I want to allow only, I mean letters, means we have to write some logic. By default functionality of a string is nothing but it will take any value inside that single quote. Okay. The same thing
Okay.
coming into the text box. Suppose I will declare one field as a text box data type, and whenever we are coming into the front end, I will enter any value, I will enter. So suppose I want only text, I want only number, means we have to write some validation on that. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Now coming into here. Yeah. Any question? Okay, fine. Now coming into here. Class is a combination of variables plus constructor plus methods, right? Now coming into here. Method. Okay. Coming into here. Method. Okay. My requirement is, first of all, what is the syntax for method? What is the syntax for method? Method syntax is nothing but you have to provide any name, any name. For example, I will just go and put like Ramesh also, it doesn't matter. Okay, any name. We will just going to provide name, m1 or m2 or m or method 1 or method info or abc, any name. So first you will just go on to provide some name to the method. some name to the method. My method name is nothing but m1. So now we are telling to the system this is a method. How we have to tell to the system is open this bracket and close this bracket, then open curly braces and close this curly braces, close this curly braces. Here m1 is nothing but method. How we are telling to the system is nothing but we are adding this bracket, open bracket and close bracket, and after that curly braces and close this curly braces. This is my method name. This is my method name. Okay, this is my method name. So in this method, generally why we have to write a method in the sense means, suppose we want to perform business logic. Suppose we want to perform business logic. Generally, where we write our business logic is nothing but inside methods only. Inside method. Here, what do you mean by business logic? What do you mean by business logic is nothing but my requirement is add two numbers. That is nothing but add two numbers. This is my requirement. This is my requirement. Add two numbers. I will call it as a this is my requirement, or I want to write business logic, add two numbers. I want to write business logic, add two numbers, different terminologies. So finally, why we are going to use methods in the sense means, inside method only we will write the business logic. Whatever the logic we want, all those logic we will always write inside method. We will always write inside methods only. Okay, inside method. So here my requirement is add two numbers. This is my requirement. So this is my method. This is my method. Okay, open bracket, close bracket, and open curly braces, close curly braces. And the next one is two numbers, right? So I1 is one variable. In this variable I am trying to storing small range number, and what kind of data? Small range number, right? That is nothing but integer. Then the next one is nothing but I will just go and declare one more variable, that is nothing but I2, that is nothing but I2, that is nothing but this one. And here I will just go and declare one more variable, one more data type, that is nothing but integer, that is nothing but integer. So my requirement is add two numbers. First we have to declare those variables, right? I1 is one variable. What kind of data we are storing? Small number, integer. I will just go and declare one more variable, I2. So what kind of data we are trying to storing? Small range number. The data type is nothing but integer. I1 plus I2. So we are adding two numbers. Then what is the result? What is the result? The result is I'm not expecting what exactly the output. It will give the result. That result is what type? What type? What data type? I'm adding two integers. Then what is the data type? What is the output? Finally integer only, right? Finally integer only, right? I'm trying to storing into one variable. That variable name is nothing but I. Here the data type is nothing but integer only. So here my requirement is add two numbers. First we will just go on to declare those two numbers. Yes, we declared I1 is one variable, I2 is another variable. This is small range number. That's why we added integer and integer. Okay, now I am trying to adding those two numbers. How to add? I1 plus I2. So it will give the result, right? That result I want to show somewhere. That result I want to show somewhere. So I am trying to storing those result into again one more variable. My variable name is nothing but anything here. My variable name is nothing but anything here. What does that meaning? I1 plus I2 we are adding. That result I am trying to storing into one variable. That variable name is nothing but I. I am trying to declaring one variable I. Declaring in the variable means we have to tell to the system what kind of data you are storing. Integer. So the result is also integer. We are adding two numbers, then the result is also integer only. That's why I'm using the same data type. Here I am not asking what exactly the result. It will give the output. It will give the result. That result data type we are expecting, and we have to use that data type here. We are adding two integers, then finally also integer only. That's why I'm using the data type as a integer. So we are adding these two numbers, and finally it will give the result. The result is nothing but I. So where we wrote this logic? Inside method. My method name is nothing but m1. How we are telling to the system this is a method in the sense means this open bracket and close bracket, after that open curly braces, close curly braces. So finally it will give the result, right? This result I want to use somewhere. Where we have to use, that is different case. This result I want to use somewhere. Then what we have to use? At the end of this method, we have to use one return statement. This method, it will perform business logic. Finally it will give the output. That output is nothing but I. What it will give? Integer, long or string or date or boolean? Which one it will give? It will give integer, right? that return type here to mention. This is my method name. Okay, this is my method name. How we are telling to the system this is a method means any name. M1 is a any name. Method name should be anything, but beside that we have to open this bracket and we have to close this bracket. We have to close this bracket, and after that this is open curly braces and this is nothing but close curly braces. Close curly braces. Then we have to perform business logic. Finally it will give the result. That result is which data type. That result is which data type. Okay, that result is which data type. So the data type here we have to mention return I. Okay, so finally this data type is what? Integer, right? That here we have to specify. That here we have to specify. This method it will perform some business logic. Finally it will give the result. That result is nothing but integer. That result is nothing but integer. Suppose just go and write one method. That method it will return false. Finally it will return false. So my method name should be anything here. This is my method name. Open curly braces and close curly braces. I am telling this method it will return false means return false, right? Return false. So false or true, which data type we have to use? The boolean data type here we have to use. Okay, boolean data type here we have to use. Going to declare one method. That method it will give time. It will give date. So my method name is nothing but m3. Just we are learning the syntax, how to write a method. Suppose I will ask write a method. So how to write a method? You have to provide a name. After that, immediately open bracket, close bracket, then open curly braces, close curly braces. You have to write your business logic. You have to write your business logic. Then this method, what it will return? Return system dot today means what it will give? It will give date, right? So the return type is nothing but date. What does that mean completely? My method name is nothing but m3. Inside this method, we are performing business logic. Finally it will give the result. That result is nothing but date, any date. So that's why method return type is nothing but a date. Here my method name is nothing but m2. My method name is nothing but m2, and here we are performing business logic inside this method. We are performing business logic inside this method. Finally what it will give? It will return false. Then what kind of data type here we have to use? Boolean. Suppose it will give true means boolean only. True or false, only boolean data type. Suppose I will just go and write one more method. My method name is nothing but m4. Then it will give time, date time it will give. Return here. Return system dot now. Return system dot now. It will give date time. Both it will give. Then what data type we have to use? Date time. So suppose I will just go and write one method, that is nothing but m5. So this is my method. So this method what it will give? It will give id, return like id, 15 digit id or 16 digit id. Then what kind of data type here we have to use? Id here. So finally method is nothing but to implement a business logic. So business logic, we will use the terminology business logic. So finally actually our logic we will write inside methods only. So finally that method it will give the result. That result, what kind of data type? That data type only here we have to mention. So up to now what we discuss? Class is a combination of variables plus methods plus constructor, right? Class is a combination of variables plus methods plus constructor, right? So class demo, this is my class name. Open curly braces, close curly braces. Suppose I want to declare two variables. I1 is one variable. What kind of data we are trying to storing? Integer data. So this is small number, so integer. Now the next one is integer. I2 is equals to any number. Now my requirement is add these two numbers. Generally where we will write? Here only we will write. So integer I is equals to I1 plus I2. Okay, I1 plus I2. Suppose I want to move the same logic into the method. Forget about this one. So generally we'll write the logic, business logic inside method only. So now I want to add two numbers inside method. So what is your method name? My method name here I'm just putting like add two names. Any name. This is my method. How we are telling to the system this is a method, this is a name. We say that open curly braces, close curly braces, I'm sorry, these are brackets only. This is curly braces. See, now I'm trying to adding these two numbers, I1 plus I2. So it will give the result. Right? That result I'm trying to storing into one variable. That variable name is nothing but anything. So we are declaring a variable in the sense means we have to specify the data type, right? What type of data type here we have to specify? Integer data type. Because of we are adding two integers, finally we will get integer only. Okay, no need to confuse. We will discuss. Okay, now it is performing the business logic. Finally, it will give the integer. Return I. Okay, return I. So this is method. Finally, what it will give the result? The result is nothing but integer. Class name. Inside this class we declare these two variables, and this is a method. Class is a combination of variables plus methods plus constructor that we'll discuss in the next session. Okay, we'll discuss in the next session. I will send the same notes. You have to go through this one, and if you have any questions, let me know. This is for today's session. Constructor not yet discussed. How to create an instance for Apex class not yet discussed. We will discuss in the next session.